told you, man, we took flight, ain't no coming down.
Yeah.
Let's get money. Yeah. Let's do it. Y'all better be ready, man.
Yeah. Major Key Podcast, Season 3, Episode 16. We back in the building. I'm here with Charlene. Charlene, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great. Thanks for coming on by and doing this interview with us here on Major Key Podcast. We're coming to the close, to the end of the season, and why not have someone of your magnitude here on the show with us? You know, we met at an event a few weeks ago, almost like a month ago now.
Yeah, a month ago.
And I was kind of caught, because you were the only one at that place that was an author, and a young author at that, you know. So I was kind of caught by surprise by your craft, and I was like, you know what, I need somebody on a podcast, you know, of this magnitude, a person that's doing this and is at the age where we are, you know. Right. I'm in my 30s. I don't know. I don't mean to ask your age, but I know you're probably right around.
30s
there you go.
Yeah.
So you're in your 30s, you know, and it's something nice to see. You know, someone of your age and someone of your bracket doing what you're doing. So let's start like this. Charlene, where you from?
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you for this great opportunity of being on your podcast. I love it. I love what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I'm Charlene Goddard. I'm from Franklinville, New Jersey, and I'm the author of a book series titled Magnificent Macie. It's a children's book series.
Okay. When was the first time you thought about writing? When did you get into the author path, or, you know, just writing and getting in that lane?
So I've always been passionate about writing ever since I was 14 years old. I always kept a journal and would create stories and just express my feelings. But the author path, I started 3 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, so
I'm
still fairly new.
Yo, no way. Wow. And did you jump right into the book Magnificent Macie, right?
Yes, Magnificent Macie. So that's my first book. And I just want to say it's also illustrated by my twin sister, Brittany.
Okay.
So she's been passionate about art since we were children.
Wow. So it just worked out.
Yes.
You were the author and she's the illustrator. Wow. Yes. When did you guys think about doing that, though? Was this something that just came out of nowhere, or did you guys have it planned coming along as you were growing up?
Honestly, it's something that came out of nowhere on my end. So I wanted to create a story to inspire my child. I have, well, she'll be 13 in 2 weeks, but
happy birthday!
Yes, her name's Sky, my little girl, and I just wanted to create a story where she can see herself in the character, a character that looks like her, a story that inspires her and tells her that I'm a superhero. I have a hero within me.
Wow.
And everyone does as well.
It was almost like a reflection of your daughter. So
yes.
In the book, do you elaborate, do you talk about your daughter's upbringing and the things she's been through, or is it something that you just fabricated?
So it's a little fabricated, but the character, her personality is like my daughter. So she's curious like my daughter. Yeah. She's very helpful. She's kind. She's giving. And she also has a little brother too. And my daughter, she has siblings that she helps with as well. So, you know, it's a reflection of her.
Has she read the book?
Yes.
Okay. What does she think about it?
She always says, that's me. Macie is me. So she loves it. And it even inspired her to, she's a great writer. She actually.
Already?
She writes, she raps too. She writes her own raps. And
got to get in the studio.
Yeah. She said for my birthday, that's what I want.
Wow. To make a record?
And she wants to go to the studio and get that experience.
Oh, my God. Well, listen, I have a studio here. We can make that happen.
Okay.
Absolutely. We can get her recorded and, you know, get her gift.
Yes.
I'll do my part, and that'll be my gift to her.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Now you have 2 books, right?
Yes.
When did you write the next book?
So my second book, I launched it in 2021. So it's a continuation of the first book.
Okay.
Just a little background about the story. So it's about a little girl, and like my little girl, she used to like to sneak in my clothes and my makeup when she was younger and dress up and walk around the house with a handheld mirror and checking herself out. So that's what Macie likes to do. So she does the same thing. And one day she accidentally drops and breaks the mirror. So ever since that day, her whole life changed. So now every mirror she looks into is a superhero that she sees, and it's like a portal to a different part of the world. Wow. And she has a mission to complete.
Wow, that's dope. Did you ever go to school for writing?
Yes. So
okay, because that was my next question. Like, come on, you got the ideas flowing.
Yes. So I graduated from Rowan University. I have a bachelor's degree in English and creative writing. We used to always have to write. That's all we did. Write stories, research papers. So I love that, though. I love that. That's my craft.
In high school, did you do any writing? Did you ease your way into it growing up, or was it something that you thought about in college? Like, I want to do this. But
it's more something that I thought about in college.
Okay.
In high school and in middle school, like I said, I had a journal and I would write stories. I would write poems, but I never thought about like actually making this a thing. So until I was older in college, like this is something that I could do.
Wow. That's neat. That's neat. It's Macie Key Podcast, Season 3, Episode 16. To continue on, now the second book you said is a continuation of the first book.
Yes.
In the first book, she breaks the mirror, you said, and then she sees a reflection of herself as a superhero.
Yes.
So now break us through the second book. What happens there?
So, okay, well, I'm going to kind of backtrack to the first book. So she visits different places, and it's based on real issues, too. For example, one place she visits is Congo, Africa.
Oh, wow.
And I touch on poverty in Congo, and she helps to resolve it in her own little way.
Yeah.
And she also goes to St. Louis, Missouri, and I talk about crime there, and she also helps to resolve that in her own way as well. So it's important to me to bring awareness to different issues around the world that's not really talked about in school.
Right.
And in the second book, so she travels to Mississippi, and she talks about racism and bullying. And I also touch on civil rights leaders from Mississippi and different events that happen there because of racism.
Wow.
So, yeah, it has facts, factual information in it that I think is important for children to know.
And what is the age bracket that you're shooting for, like the demographic, I guess, for, the age that these kids will be reading these books?
4 to 10. It's so
4 to 10, okay.
broad because I feel like, even the older kids, they can comprehend that, like they can learn from it as well. And then the younger kids, they love the pictures too.
Yeah. Or an adult too, I believe that. And so the issues that you're touching on, these are issues like you said, that they're not talked about, I guess, mainstream media or anything like that. And it entitles what, race?
Yes, racism, bullying, poverty, and crime.
Once again, let them know where they can find it. Amazon and your website?
Yes, so once again, Magnificent Macie, Macie spelled MACIE.com, or you can check it out on Amazon, and also my social media, Magnificent Macie on Instagram and Facebook.
Do you have any more books in mind to come out with? Other than this series here, do you have something else that you want to touch on?
Yes, so I do plan on doing a spin-off series of, because she has a little brother, so I'm gonna have him turn into a superhero.
Wow.
And I do have it written out, but I just have to go ahead and get it published.
Yeah.
And also me and my sister, we are about to launch our YouTube series. So I wrote the episodes, she did all the animation, so it's a cartoon.
Of Magnificent Macie? Oh my goodness,
Yes.
that's gonna be dope.
So I'm very excited about that. And that's going to launch in January. So.
Wow. And you have it all ready to go? Pretty much. Pretty much. Just making final touches. Yeah, that's nice. Now, when did your sister get into illustration? You said she started as a young kid, but when was that age when she really grabbed onto it? Or did she go to school for it as well?
She went to school for art as well. But actually, my book is the first book that she illustrated. She always designed her own characters, but she never really got her work out there, so a lot of people didn't even know that she could draw.
Wow.
So she said that this was a great opportunity for her as well, and she also illustrated some other books too.
Yeah.
After my book, yep.
So she started other books, you said, or she's going to?
She did. She already started.
No way. What other books have she done? Do you know off the top of your head or not? I'm going to put you on the spot.
It's another kid book. It's about hair. I forget the title.
That's all right.
But her name's Brittany Goddard, if you guys want to check her out.
Brittany Goddard. Go check out. She's on Instagram?
Yes, Brittany Goddard. Yep.
Yeah, man. So Magnificent Macie, you said she has a little brother. Do you have in mind what his story's going to be like or no?
So I'm still trying to figure it out, but I do have some ideas. He's gonna go around the world saving people as well, helping her, but he has his own superpowers and his own story too. So that's still in the works. Yeah.
That's dope. Now, you said that your daughter's picking up on this. Let's touch on that a little bit. Do you see yourself influencing her? Obviously, you're her mom, you know, but our kid, like my son, he doesn't do anything now. He's with me, he's there, but he's not into the engineering. He's not into anything that I'm really into. You know, I let him be his own man.
Right.
Do you see yourself as a big role or influence on her as far as writing and taking this a little further than you, maybe?
Yes, I do see that. And she even got an opportunity to write for a young girls magazine called Girl Story Magazine. She wrote a poem, and
wow.
She said that she wants to focus on her music.
Okay,
She
okay.
wants to, you know, get that experience, get that out there. And we did talk about even doing like a girls' journal together for
Okay.
teenage girls.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
I do think I'd have a big influence on her, and that's the goal.
Yeah.
So
See, you know what? Nowadays, the kids, they need that.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we needed it too growing up, but it was a little easier for us. You know, the kids nowadays, they have a lot of distractions. They have certain
Right.
things that we didn't have, you know, and the digital era, that's just a lot to blame.
Yes, yes.
You know, so we got to keep them confined. We got to help them out, you know, just to grow that much more. You know, and I touched on, I said, my son, he doesn't really, I don't force him to do, you know how some kids have their dads like, yeah, you're going to
Right.
be the next baseball player,
Right,
the next
right.
this, because they did it. You know, I don't force my son to do anything. He's very digitally inclined. He's straight A student. He's a real smart kid.
That's
but
good.
yeah, but he doesn't have to do what I do in order to
Right.
be successful, is what I'm saying. You know,
Right.
so that's good. You're encouraging your daughter to, you know, pretty much walk in your steps, and it seems like she likes it.
yeah, she does. She does, and I encourage her as well, like how you said with your son, to be her own person too.
Right.
You know, like you don't have to do what I'm doing. You know, I just want to show you that you can follow your dreams, that it can be done.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Now, we got a segment. We're going to jump into this right now on Major Key Podcast that we call The Key to Success. Charlene Goddard, right?
Yes.
What is the key to success for you so far in your venture and, you know, throughout your whole career?
So the key to success for me, I would say, is just to be patient with myself and to just really appreciate where God has brought me from. He gave me this vision, and it's a journey, you know. It's a journey. It's you have to take your time, step by step. So sometimes I think, you know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I see where He's brought me from.
Right.
So that's what motivates me and keeps me going. Just keep going, even if you don't have everything you need or everything that you feel like you need. Right now, just the key is getting started.
Yeah.
Yes.
God first. You
Yes.
hear that? You
God
always got to
first,
include God.
always.
Wow. That's dope. That's dope, man. So let them know again where they can find you on Facebook, on Instagram, where they can find your book.
Yes. So once again, you guys can find me at magnificentmacie.com, Amazon, Magnificent Macie, Instagram, Facebook, Magnificent Macie, MACIE.
Now, when you were in college, let's jump back into the interview a little more. When you were in college, do you have anything that you started off with, any books that you started that you never finished that you might want to go back to? Or this is the first project you ever had?
This is the first book. Now, in college, we had actually like a lot of research papers, and we actually had like a lot of Black history that we touched on, and that was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, I love those classes.
Yeah.
And
History, that's one of my favorite too, yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's what made me want to include, you know, different things in my book, like about Congo. So, you know, different places in the world that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
'cause that's what I learned in school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's dope. Rowan University graduate
Yes.
over here making moves, doing big things. Magnificent Macie, and I gotta get me one of these.
Yes,
I gotta
you
get
do.
me one. Yeah, I gotta get me one. You know, and I gotta run through it. So is there? You said a part 3 coming, or is it just a 2-part series? I know you said her brother has one coming out, but is it you coming out anymore? You're gonna keep the series going, is what I'm saying.
Yes, so I'm going to finish this series off with a 3rd book, and that one is going to be based on, I want it to be based on mental health
Wow.
with children, because that's important.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot going on, so I feel like it needs to be talked about more.
Yeah.
And also, like, for adventure, that's when I'm going to touch on her brother, too.
Okay.
Like, turning into the superhero. So he's going to, like, follow her into the mirror portal, and she doesn't notice it.
Wow.
I have it all planned out, so you guys will see.
Wow.
I'm not going to give away too much.
Now, yeah, right. You don't want to give out the whole book.
Yeah.
Run us through real quick. When you have the idea when you had the idea for this book, how does that work as an author, right? Because I mean, I write poems. I've written poems. I started like that. Then I was an artist, and I'm amongst anything, other things. But as an author, how is your layout? What do you start with? Is it something that you have in your mind, like a picture, and then you run through it, or how is it? How do you start with the project?
So I kind of plan it out like from beginning to end, how I want my whole story to go. Like I have the theme of the story, but actually getting it out in words, that's another thing. So right. I always plan the beginning, middle, end, and I love poetry too. And actually, the books, they rhyme. It's a poem. So then I just go ahead and get started. Sometimes I do get writer's block, and I'll put it down and maybe revisit it, the next day. Right. So, and that's something my daughter, she struggles with too. And she's like, what do I do when I get writer's block? And I tell her, you take a break. Yeah. That's what you do. Away. Yes, you step away and you revisit. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten writer's block a lot, man. And I actually leave the studio. I stop everything I'm doing completely and just change it all around. And then, that comes with getting inspired again, too. You go see certain things, and then you come back to what you pick up right where you left off. So that's cool, man. So, and then now the illustration. You said that your sister does it, but do you leave it up to her totally? Do you give her the book, and then she paints the picture based off what she read, or is it something that you guys do along the way?
I give her the book, and I let her create
it. Wow.
Yeah. So I trust her.
Wow.
And even, so with the main character, I wanted her to have characteristics like my daughter. So the hair, even her purple glasses. My daughter, she doesn't wear them anymore, but she had purple glasses.
Okay.
And, Brittany, she thought about that. She's like, well, Sky has purple glasses. Sky's hair is like this, so... Yeah, I leave that up to her.
Yeah, so you just push the book off to her. She reads the whole book, and then she starts drawing based on what she's reading.
Yes.
Nice. That's dope. Now, Macie, where did you come up with that name for her? Is it something that just came out of nowhere? Because she's not named after your daughter.
No.
So where did you come up with the name Magnificent Macie?
So I actually prayed about it.
No way. God again.
God again. Because I was like, I don't know what to call this character. I didn't know what to name her, and I just wanted something that was catchy and something that draws attention, and that sounds powerful as well. And I did pray about. I'm like, God, what should I name this character? And I don't know. I thought the word magnificent because I want my work to be magnificent, and I'm like, okay, what? Like the double M's. I like to do that. So like magnificent, and then it just came to me like Macie. I'm like, okay, Magnificent Macie.
Wow, that's dope. That's a nice story, or a nice background of how you came up with that name. Wow. Sometimes I know me when I'm in writer's mode, it comes to you, like you just said, it comes to you out of nowhere, but I plan it. So for that to come out of nowhere and just you got the enlightenment from God, that's a beautiful story there.
And I do feel like for example, some things don't come out of nowhere and I just leave it and I'll keep going on the other things that I know that I'm going to write about. Like her name, I didn't have that before I started writing the book. It came to me as I started writing.
No way.
Yeah.
So how did you leave that blank for her name? How did you go on through the story without having a name? That's interesting.
I put a line, left a space in between. I'm like, I'll figure out, God, I want you to give me the right name to draw people in.
Yes.
And like I said, that sounds powerful,
Wow.
And I'm going to let it come to me, but I'm going to keep writing the story.
Yeah.
So.
In your mind, you have to be real artsy, I want to say, or like a professional to be able to do that and not have the name. Like every time you go say her name, you would draw a blank, right? Like you didn't have the name there, but you got to continue on with the story.
Right, but I had the story. I just didn't have the name yet.
Wow, that's dope. Yeah. Now, do you have her brother's name?
Yes, his name's Sam.
Sam?
Yep.
Wow. How did that come about?
Well, because it rhymes. So I forget what the line was before, but whatever word I left off on, Sam came to mind because it rhymed. So yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
I tried to just have it flow, know.
That's dope. Yeah. And is he magnificent as well, or he's just Sam?
Sam, and his name, I'm still,
Still working on it?
Still working
Gotta
on
give it to you.
Yeah. Yes, he will.
Major Key Podcast, Season 3, Episode 16 with Charlene in the building, man. This has been a pleasure here. Much appreciated. Her book, Magnificent Macie, is a 2-part series. You know, she's coming out with a third later on in the future, but this has been a pleasure. This has been an honor to have you on this season. I wanted to close out the season. As you know, everybody out there, the public, you know, this season especially has been about, you know, people that are local, successful people. I have my mind focused on really putting people on that are doing things in the community, that are doing things like this, like an author, artists, people that are really making a change for the future. And you're doing that. You're doing that.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing that. Yeah, you're welcome. And you inspire a lot of people. You never know who you can inspire by them reading your book, listening to you, watching you. You know, so I want to say congratulations on and continued success on what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're welcome.
you.
And you always have a home here whenever you want to come back to do another show update on your other book. You know, let's get your daughter in the studio. She raps, you said, right?
Yes, she's good, y'all. I'm not just saying that because that's my daughter. She's good.
You got anything out that she has done, or do you have any clips?
She has some. I don't have it on my phone. She does, but she has a song called Cameras.
Okay.
She has a couple other songs, and she messes around with beats too.
She produces? Oh my God.
I don't know how she does it.
I gotta get her linked up with my son because man, oh man, that'd be a dope duo.
Yeah, he raps too.
He jabs at it.
Okay.
He jabs at it. He
Nice.
tries. I don't force anything. I started as an artist. I started as a poet. Then I transitioned to an artist, then a CEO and things like that. But I don't force him. He's been in the studio with me. He likes making beats, but I don't force him to rap.
Right.
But he jabs at it. He sings. That's what he is. He's a singer.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
he's in the chorus and all that type of stuff.
Awesome.
Choir and all that.
Okay, good.
But yeah, we'll get your daughter in the studio and get her cracking on that song or whatever else you want to work on. But Major Key Podcast, Season 3, Episode 16. I appreciate every single body out there. You can follow us on Instagram, Major Key Podcast. You can follow Charlene. Let them know your Instagram once again.
Magnificent Macie.
On Instagram?
Yes. And my personal on Facebook is Charlene Tiffany.
Absolutely, man. Much appreciated once again. Thank you for coming on by.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Shouts to the public, everybody out there. And I was getting ready to say earlier, I wanted to close out the season, with that much better. And this is a pleasure having her on here, and giving her story to the public. This is what we do. And remember the key to success. The key to success, always put God first, man.
Yes,
I couldn't put it any better than you. I'm gonna summarize it like that. Much appreciated. Shouts to everybody out there. We're gonna keep it moving and moving.
Yes.
Salute.
I told you, man, we took flight, ain't no coming down.
Yeah.
Let's get money. Yeah, yeah.